Yeah, good morning and welcome to TSL Nigeria, the number one station. And this is Politics and Power, a new program that will be coming to you every Monday and Wednesdays, where we'll be discussing the Nigerian politics and how it affects you and I going to 2023. We'll be starting this morning. I will start by introducing my brother and hosts here, Mr. Kero Mudupe.
Good morning.
It's good to have you.
Thank you very much,
You are
Mr. Fares.
you're looking very kinky.
Yes, yeah, you see, when we come to set like this to discuss Nigerian politics, sometimes I have this feeling we do too much analysis in this country and we seem to have the solution to our problem, but we can't solve the problem of this country.
Implement it.
We can't implement it. So sometimes it's funny, but we just pray someday
We'll get it right.
we're able to get it right.
Yeah,
Get it
thank you,
right as a
Mr.
country.
Kero. So this morning we'll be starting by doing a quick review on two major papers, which is the Punch and Vanguard. So I'll just look at what the Vanguard is saying this morning. The Vanguard is saying 2023 presidency, NCF blast APC PDP for fielding Muslim candidates. How rising costs, 99% wheat imports, triggered Nigeria's bread crisis. NCC donates 500 million naira for research, for university research. 2023 lamentations as voters registration ends. Now to the Punch newspaper. National Assembly proposes 63 new universities. 63 new universities. That's a funny one.
And the ones we have on ground, they are currently at home for the past six months.
I propose 63 new.
Yes, I see. Even the one that's even shocking to me now is actually the issue of that the NCF just raised, yes, concerning blasting APC and PDP for feeding
Muslim candidates.
Muslim. Sometimes I ask, when I hear people debate issues of why are you having a Muslim ticket, why are we having a Muslim Christian ticket, why are we having, sometimes I ask myself this question, have we gotten to this stage as a country where we allow our religious inclinations to put us apart?
Sadly.
Where's the place of competence? Because another election is coming up again. Nobody is discussing issues.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, once these guys get into power, it is not religion that we're going to use to determine. It's not religious inclination that will be the KPIs that we're going to use to assess whatsoever they're doing. Yeah. We're going to be using issues like the issue of security, healthcare. So why can't we bring those things to the fore and let us discuss and say, come on, what plans do you have to solve this issue of insecurity that is ravaging our nation? Because if we spend too much time discussing this religion, Muslim ticket, Christian ticket, we will lose it.
Exactly.
The way we've lost it in time past.
Exactly, so, and that's you're very correct. And I think finally on the Punch newspaper, it says lamentations as voters registration comes to an end, and that will be our topic for today. We'll be looking at the just concluded voters registration exercise, which ended yesterday. I don't know if you've been registered.
Okay, yes.
Or if you had any challenges in the registration process.
I have registered. Okay. But yesterday, I was able to take somebody to a polling, registration center.
Yeah.
Now, I, for one, I'm not too impressed with the way INEC is conducting the exercise. Why? Because you go to centers, and you have as much as 200 persons trying to register, you just have one machine in those centers. But I will still sit down and ask myself this question, that, come on, why is it that Nigerians will always be Nigerians when it comes to issues like this? The continuous voter registration exercise did not just start last week. It started since last year.
Exactly.
How come we always wait till the very last day before we go out to register? Somebody was saying something that a lot of persons have the of the opinion that they should extend it, The truth is this. Even if you extend this thing to February 1st, 2023, few days to the election, you will still have this queue. So people, once they announce today that they're going to extend a lot of people will now relax and say, there's still time. So this Nigerian thing, what is our problem as a nation? What is it?
Do you also think that because it's continuous voters registration, that it should be continuous, like it says? Because that's the argument of some people are raising, that it should continue until about a week or two to the elections, like you have in the US. Like you can register in time, and then INEC should also simplify the process. I know INEC have done a lot, but don't you think that the process could be simplified to a state where you can register from your house? You don't have to go.
That's the point I'm going
because
to.
Because there's not enough machines.
The truth is this. I told myself, I said, if a new government comes in now and come with another policy and say they are changing it from NIM to NIMRI, I won't leave my house. Are you tired of registering in this country? I'm tired of multiple registration. Every new government that come in, somebody, a contractor that was very useful during the election process, maybe has invested a lot of monies and is looking for a way to recoup, he will just come up with one business idea. That's what I'm using, business idea. And he sell it to the person in power. They'll ask you, go out and register.
Exactly.
Why would I have to stress myself with INEC registration? The truth is this. There should be this connectivity. I'm speaking more like an IT personnel. We should have a national database. They should be able to know that this is where I stay, this is where I reside, I'm above 18, I've done my NIM, I've done BVN. And these things we are told that they are national registration, which we have a national database. So from my house, I should pick up my mobile phone, download a particular app. They will ask me to do verification or like a KYC. I do a KYC. As I complete the process, it queries the database. If the information I provide is correct, then I should be given a soft copy. Once I get a soft copy of my voter's card, which is the temporary voter's card, it's just for me to walk up to any INEC office. The way you pick up your ATM card.
From the bank.
From the bank. You walk up to any INEC office and get your PVC to vote. But the problem, if you know Nigeria, if it's not difficult, it's not a Nigerian thing. It must be difficult for us to take it serious. I think that's why they're doing what they're doing.
Exactly. And then I also say that in most countries in the West, there's this, all they do, they synergize everything. Like you have a number, like everybody has a number.
Like a social security number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you have a number. And with that number, your details are locked into that number. So all you need to do is just enter, like you said, just enter your number in a system, and then it verifies you, and then you are given a card or something like that. So you don't have to go to INEC today, NIN tomorrow. And the funny is that we are given the same information. You go to INEC, you are given the same information that you give to NIN. So why can't you just
have only one process? Can I tell you something? Sorry to cut you short. I'll tell you something. When I did my registration, with what I saw happen there that day, somebody from Cameroon can register with me.
Yeah.
No verification at all. Just tell us, they'll just, this Weber, they'll just tell us your state of origin, you say this. How will you verify that my
state is from this state?
They will just register you.
Yes.
So anybody can own the Nigerian voter's card, just the way anybody can own the Nigerian international passport. It's not, we can't see that
no previous.
That brings us to this discussion we've been raising over time, that we should have a national database. Forget about, you see, census, population census to me in this country is a political exercise where some person just want to eat money and they want to ensure a federal allocation that comes to their region is bigger than the one that gets to the other region.
Yes.
We should have a national database. It's something we should discuss. And this is what I expect we as the youths to bring up. Any a candidate that is ready to rule us as a nation, how can you secure your people when you don't even know the number? If you want to do your parties now, for example, you want to do your parties, the first thing you do is that you come up with your guest list. It is the number of guests you are expecting that will determine the number of food you are going to provide. True of us.
That's true.
The number of guests you are expecting will determine the number of security details that you are going to have in that occasion.
That's correct.
And you know the caliber of person that will be coming for that event. Just imagine, small party that's not going to take now look at a nation, Nigeria. We don't have a national database. All we know is that they just need to quote from the last census. What is census? somebody will just go into your house. I know the way they do it is on religion. I'm not going to mention names now. Where they will know, they'll say our religion does not allow you to get into our houses. For that reason, I have 7 wives. I will have 53 children. Write it. You will not write. And you will not say in that house you have 300 and something persons. Is that how you do it? So it's
So the census system is completely flawed.
without being told, it's flawed now.
Yeah,
It's
flawed.
political, and that's the truth. That's what it's meant for.
So do you think that INEC has made progress with because in this registration process, you also know that they made it easy to a large extent by, if you, for example, you were going to replace your lost card, you were going to do a transfer. They made it easy by just providing a link where you can do it yourself.
Good.
And also with the BVS that they introduced, we saw the elections in Osun State. You saw the role the BVS played in the elections and all that. Do you actually think that INEC is actually making progress?
Okay.
Even though the progress is not much, do you think they're making progress?
When we talk as a nation, and this is what has brought us to the stage that we are now, we, as a nation, Nigerians, we have a way of celebrating mediocrity. What is INEC? My brother, you have to go and ask or look at the books of INEC and see the amounts that is being invested into. You know the amount that is being allocated for up to 300 and something billion allocated to this 2023 election.
Yeah.
As well allocated for this 2023 election. This is the amount that they want to spend, and somebody is telling you that because they have provided a link, something that my IT guy would do in 30 seconds, and now everybody's applauding. Everybody's applauding INEC. The INEC is doing a great work. Great work. Why do we celebrate mediocrity as a nation? It doesn't make sense. We are bigger than this. Nigeria, the best IT personnel we have in the world comes from this nation.
Okay, now talking about the registration itself.
Okay.
INEC says in the last 3 months, about 10 million people registered. We will consider that a plus. Is it that our electoral process is, people are starting to get more interested, the participation level is starting to increase? Is it a plus for Nigeria?
Okay, maybe as Nigerians, another issue we have as Nigerians is that we don't look at patterns. And when you don't follow patterns, it will be difficult for you to dictate the pace of your life. So pattern is key. Registration, PVC collection, also PVC registration, has never been an issue. People always register. The issue is how many will go collect their PVC.
And how many will vote?
And how many will vote. That's the issue.
That's true.
It has always been the issue. So if INEC is now coming up and telling us as Nigerians to clap for them because they've registered a lot of persons this time, come on, INEC, you've not done anything. What you are going to do is this. How are you going to convey these PVCs to the houses of those persons that registered? Because most times, we saw what happened in Rivers State. Bag load of PVC inside gutter.
We've been destroyed.
So that is not it. Registration is not the thing. Registration is that's just the beginning. How are we going to get our PVCs? That they are saying that October, November, PVCs will be ready. These ones that we just did will be ready. I'm happy. I just pray it happens that way. And I pray I come up with a strategy to say, okay, what will happen? This is how you get your PVC, and people will seamlessly go collect their PVC. If not, it will make sense that after registration, after all the hassles, I've registered, PVC is out, I don't get my PVC, I can't vote. And to Nigerians, the PVC is not an item that you use to go and open bank accounts.
Because that's what Nigerians
Because that's what we use it for.
They make you look at our identity card.
Yeah, identity card. It's not what you use to go and open bank account. It's actually meant for voting. Voting. It's not what you put inside your wallet, voting. So if you don't vote with your PVC, it's as good as not getting that at all.
Okay. You know, in the 2019 general elections, you know, INEC said that we had 80 million registered voters in Nigeria. That's about 40% of our population. And in the that same election, about 20 something million per voter, because I remember Buhari scored about 13 million
votes.
and Atiku scored about 11 million. So plus or minus, we had about 20 something million or 25 million people that participated that voted in that election.
Out of 40.
Out of 80
million.
million. So where are the 65 million registered voters in Nigeria? And now we're adding maybe another 10 to 15 million registered voters. Do you think that there's going to be a time where we'll see maybe like 50 or 60%. Because in Australia, for example, it is compulsory to vote. If you don't vote, you don't get social benefits. Maybe, for example, you are unemployed and you are dependent on government for unemployment benefits and all of that. And on election day, you stay in your house, you don't vote. They stop your benefits. So many countries, they do compulsory voting. Do you think we should switch from the current voting system that we have to a compulsory voting system to get people to participate in the process? Particularly if you notice that the age gap that doesn't vote are between 18 and 25. And that's the population, that's the largest population we have in Nigeria. That's we have about maybe 30 to 40 million people within the ages of 18 to 30. And the largest number of people who don't vote are between the ages of 18 to 25. So do you think we should make it compulsory for everybody to vote in Nigeria as far as you have a voter's card?
Okay, now, when you say make it compulsory, we should make it. Who is the we?
The government should make it compulsory.
Now, sometimes I ask myself this question. Our political parties in this country, what is their duty? What do they even do? Apart from recruiting thugs, recruiting vote buyers prior to election. What do they do? How many of them organize programs to sensitize people on going out to vote? At least nobody's asking you to campaign now.
Yes.
It's not time for campaigning.
Exactly.
But nobody will stop you from sensitizing voters.
That's true.
Rather, what our political parties are doing now is internal wrangling. The ticket belonged to me. It was for you. It was stolen. Let the court decide. This one fight this one. So our political parties, what is the duty of a political party? Apart from grabbing power and misusing the power. So you see our problem is actually fundamental. It's education. When you take our time to teach people, over time, it becomes an habit. When you keep telling people, this is what you do, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I want to see a station where, from now to 2023, I want to see each political parties coming up with various programs in their locality, their ward level, teaching people that there is a need for you to participate in voting, in the voting process. I don't believe in compulsory voting, forcing people to go and vote. But if you sensitize people enough, they will have this interest in voting. Let them know what they stand to benefit if they go out to vote. Is it too difficult for our political parties to do?
Well, I don't think that's
even
difficult.
INEC itself.
Yes, I was going to go there.
Even INEC itself is only the one that will involve spending money. Why not create centers, halls, where you can sensitize people, get vehicles,
town hall meetings,
go to marketplaces, let them know. I want to, it is we're at a critical stage in this country as a nation, but I expect that anything I want to see on TV should be centered on 2023 election, mobilizing voters to go vote. That's what I should be saying. Not, the truth is this. I keep telling us that the reason why we have issues we are having as a nation, why investors are running from Nigeria, is actually a PR issue. When I turn on my television, all I hear, election is coming in 2023, all I hear in the news is that bandits are threatening to enter Abuja. I go to social media, I hear the same news. As an investor, will you come and invest?
No.
The kind of programs we want to hear is telling us that Nigerians, this is the time for you to decide your destiny. We need to come out and vote. You need to participate. These are the kind of things I want to hear. If this election is to be in America, you'll see what CNN will be showing you. They won't be showing you that bandits is ravaging Abuja. That's not a business. They'll cover it up. They'll be telling you voter participation. Just check how many news channels covered this INEC PVC registration throughout this period. Just a few. Because that to them, that will not make people watch their news. What will make people watch their news is that the bandits, they are taking over Abuja Express, to taking over bad news. So bad news is now becoming the culture for us in this nation. It doesn't make sense. So we need to do a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
So talking about funding for INEC, in 2023, I think 2023, the federal government is budgeting about close to about 500 billion
yeah.
for INEC. And Do you think that is justified? Do you think INEC has been given enough to deliver on free, fair, and credible elections? Looking at what happened from the Osun elections, looking at also looking at curbing vote buying, because I think from previous elections we used to see thuggery, snatching of ballot boxes and all of that, stuffing of ballot box, printing of ballot papers and all of that by political parties. But this time around, what we are faced with now is just vote buying. Those other forms of rigging have largely been addressed. It's just now the only problem remaining is the vote buying. Do you think with what INEC has been given that INEC should, as a matter of importance, address that issue of vote buying? Because INEC has been given enough money to prepare for this election.
Okay, now, talking about vote buying, a lot of us will feel that this vote buying thing is something that just occurred on election day. I think the issue of telling us that party primaries is actually a party internal issues, I think should be addressed. INEC should be involved, fully involved. In short, INEC should be the one conducting party primaries. Now, they are still playing the observatory role, just come observe what's going on. I think they should be the one organizing it. The reason why I decided to come up with that is, if you see most of these primaries that these political parties did, you know what delegates they did? It's giving money to delegates to vote for you.
Exactly.
Is that not vote buying?
That's vote buying.
So if you want to stop me from collecting money during the main election, and you are not stopping delegate from collecting money, when I have a delegate close to my house that went to Abuja to vote for presidency,
Came back and bought 2 cars.
Came back and bought 2 cars. And now you want me to go and vote for free?
In the PDP primaries, there were allegations that as much as $25,000
and we have
given
issue with
to
dollar
each delegate.
And
Yes.
I knew that this dollar naira will crash. I knew
Exactly.
it too. Because the way politicians were raking in these dollars, I knew it.
They bought every dollar in the system, every dollar in
But
circulation.
my question I want to ask is this. The dollar they were giving that, where are those people spending it? It's not in Nigeria. How come we don't see it? Only know
A lot
when
of
they
our-
gather it.
A lot of people have kept it.
They've kept it to do what?
And people are still keeping dollars for 2023. You know that our election is so monetized here that people will keep money just for it. People will take loans, people will sell houses just for it. And I think that is where we're having this economic crisis we're having, because prior to the PDP and APC primaries, all the dollars in circulation were scooped out. People went to all the bureau de change and they bought every dollar that they could buy, and they kept it in their houses. And now people who are doing businesses, who are supposed to use dollar to go abroad and buy things and all of that, they cannot source dollar. So that's why the price of dollar is going up and
Okay,
up and
so that brings me to the main issue I've been trying to discuss with people. Let us look for a way to break down this party politics in Nigeria. Let's introduce independent candidacy, where a Kerem Odukpe that is popular in his area, that they can trust, will come up one day and say he wants to be the councillor representing his community, and he gets it because he's very popular. Where a Fares Opere that is very popular in Edo State will wake up one morning and tell us that he feels he can address the issues Edo State is facing, and he wants to contest for the office of the governor of Edo State, and he will win. Because it's not about majority, it's not popularity. Election is popularity contest now. So let's break down this party system. Let us introduce independent candidacy. Then I will not have delegate to give money now. Abi?
Yes.
I don't have delegate to give money. I will come if I'm popular, I win the election.
Exactly.
So if I know
you
that-
interact with the people directly.
Good. So if I know that this party, the amount their delegates collecting is too much, what happened? The truth is economic laws now. When supply becomes many, the price will drop. Abi? That's it. So when you have too many sources, I can wake up my money without forget about PDP and go and I don't need structure or PDP structure to win election if I'm popular. Delegates, we will not spend money for delegates. They will come and vote their conscience. Because now they don't vote their conscience. That's the reason why we have this internal wrangling in political party. I know you're a strong PDP member. You see the one that's happening in your party now. People are aggrieved. You know why they're aggrieved? Because they spent money. And they got it, and they almost got this victory. They are at the verge of claiming victory. And there was now Mago. let's not go into that. We'll discuss that another
Subsequently.
subsequently.
So, so looking at participation, we've talked about voters registration. We've talked about voters participation. Do you also think that young people in Nigeria should participate more in party politics? Because that's one thing that is missing. If you look at the UK, for example, you see the Labour Party. I'm happy you mentioned something about what are the plans of the party in terms of sensitization and all of that. In the UK, for example, you see the Labour Party. Let me give let me use the Labour Party as an example because I lived also in the UK for some time. So the Labour Party then will go out and organize programs for young people within the party, young people. And then in that program, they see young people who are vibrant, who are intelligent, who have ideas, and they start to tap and groom them to elective positions. And then you also see it with Democratic Party in the US. Take, for example, Barack Obama. He was just a senator who wasn't interested in being president. But people look at him and say, oh, you have all the criteria of becoming a president. And then they supported him to become president. And then he was a good president. And then you have, in Norway, you have their own party there. They have programs for young people within the party to get them to participate and all of that. Now, do you think that young people in Nigeria should participate in the party politics instead, not just going to vote, participate in the party process?
Okay,
itself?
if we don't have young people in party politics,
Not so much.
we have. You know why somebody like me, I would not want to participate in party politics. The reason is because I know the way these so-called godfathers in the party, the way they behave. They feel that if you're intelligent, you can't be trusted. And you're a youth. So you know the position they will give to you? Is to ensure you have a very good mobile device. Constant internet access. And they will ensure that you are online 247. In short, they will make sure that nothing happened to that your phone. That nothing happened to that your internet access. So that you can help them insert your position.
Exactly.
They will be calling you Alpha.
Yes.
For the past 1 week now, you have not posted.
You're not posted, yeah.
That's the only language. Because they feel that the only role you can play in party politics is to post. That's what they feel. They feel the youth is just meant to post. And when it comes to allocating positions, political positions, offices, you know who they consider? The children of their children.
That's correct.
The children of their friend. The friends of the friend of the friend.
Or their own children.
Or their own children. So that if you go and check their children's Facebook wall, the only thing they post there is to celebrate birthdays. Or they share motivational speeches.
Exactly.
But when they check your wall is a wall.
You have insulted everybody.
You have insulted everybody. Because that's what they will make them know that you are active. You understand my point?
And then at the end of the month, you get 20,000.
That's the reason why people like us will not want to participate in party politics. So you see where it's coming from. So not until there's a switch, let me see that this is what I get from being active in party politics. That because I'm intelligent, somebody will see me one day and say, I think this guy deserve to be in this position. Then I will be involved in party politics.
Okay,
Not
so
until then.
finally, because we are almost out of time, I just want to ask you a question and take a 10 seconds answer from you.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to get it right in 2023?
In terms of
we're out of time.
Choosing the candidates, voting.
Do you think we're going to get it right?
The voting process or voting the right person?
In everything. Are you sure we'll get it right?
Okay, the first thing I'm asking, why I'm not going to give you a straight answer, is because the candidates that I have available to vote, it is the same corrupt system that brought them.
Okay, we'll end it there. I would like you to close.
Thank you very much for watching the maiden edition of Politics and Power. Like we said, this program comes to you only on TSN Nigeria TV. We are streaming live on Facebook at the moment, but you can watch this show on YouTube. Just search for at TSN Nigeria TV. Do follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we are on TikTok also. That's for our TikTokers. And please Do not fear to comment, share our content anytime you see them drop. We'll still be back on set again on Wednesday to discuss something. At this time, I think Mr. Faris will be on the hot seat because I don't know what happened today. We're supposed to be anchoring this program, but he decided to place me on the hot seat. Thank you very much, Mr. Faris. Thank you very much. So see you same time this week, Wednesday. Bye.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.